Prosperity requires a mindset shift, the kind that takes you from wanting to having to living a life without limits. And today's guest understands that shift in a very powerful way. Are you guys ready to get into it? Let's go.
Here we go! Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson, Nicole Johnson. Let's go!
And welcome to another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I am the Nicole Johnson, your host of today's session, and I am joined by someone who has mastered the art of transformation. Like boom, 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 from here to there and everywhere. It's almost magical. From life abroad to building a digital empire right here at home. My guest has his own digital agency where he helps business owners. Now, you know, that's right up my alley, y'all. That's right up my alley. He helps them market themselves confidently to the masses and build wealth with strategy, excellence, and intention. Y'all go ahead and give it up for Ernest Usher, the owner and founder of Usher's Digital Agency. What's up, Ernest? How are you?
I'm wonderful. It's always a pleasure to see entrepreneur, specialist, amazing woman of power, persistence, perspective, um, and purpose. Nicole Johnson. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you. How's it? Listen, you guys, Ernest is coming across the waters. He's coming across the waters for this broadcast, and I'm really excited because it took a few acts of Congress to get this time schedule, and we were finally able to get Congress to do something, okay? To do something. So, listen, I'm going to start where I start with all of our guests and jump right into it. Tell us, Ernest, what does prosperity mean to you?
um, for me, prosperity is defined in a few ways, but my main focus of prosperity deals with gratitude for what already is instead of constant frustration for what's missing. What that simply
Mm,
means for me, when you're living a prosperous life, you're thankful and accepting to the extent of, I have what I need to make it, and I'm not frustrated with what I don't have that I think I need to go further. So, a lot of people, when they think about a prosperous life, they tie it immediately to money. And I can tell you honestly, you can never have enough money. You can always have more. So therefore, the strive for more money would drive you insane. But gratitude says, you know what? I've got what I need to go just a little bit further than where I am. And as life takes me further, as more is added to me, I'll stay in a constant state of appreciation just for that. And see, that's a mind thing. So as the money comes, as the wealth comes, as those things come, you will always be in a state of gratitude because gratitude also means as I get more, I give more. And
mm,
prosperity also brings as I get, I give because I have gratitude. And a lot of people think gratitude is just being thankful. No, gratitude goes a little step further than thankful because gratitude says, you know what? Now I know I have more than enough.
mm.
I don't have to have more, but if I get more, I'll give more. And that blows people's mind when it comes to entrepreneurship and business because I've learned as I gain knowledge, I give knowledge. Because as it was given to me and God has allowed me to sit in rooms that I know I'm not supposed to be in, but
Come
I have a
on.
state of gratitude as I sit in that room. So therefore, as the knowledge is acquired, as soon as that door closes to that room and I walk out, I freely am ready to give that knowledge to someone else because I want them to also live in the same prosperity.
Ah, I love it. I love it. I love it. So back there on that shelf, the second, there's a container, and that is my gratitude jar. And the reason that I created a gratitude jar, it has index cards, the small ones, the oversized ones. And I created that because sometimes we need to document a moment where we are feeling gratitude and feeling gracious, right?
Right.
Because there are going to be times where things are trying and you need to be reminded of when didn't always feel like this. So at 2 in the morning, when something has you up at night, you can't sleep, you can't pick up the phone and call somebody and talk to them, you can always go to your jar and encourage yourself. So I invite my community to create the same thing. But something you just said makes me want to ask you this. So you're sitting in rooms that you know you weren't supposed to be in. You're eager to, you're like me. I'm listening. I'm like, oh, who can I tell this to? Oh, so and so needs this. So and so could benefit from this, right?
Mhm.
Has it always been that way?
I'll be honest with you. The answer is yes. Because for me, as I got older, I realized that the rooms that I sat in, God placed me in those rooms because He has always given me a spirit of humility. Now, I'm going to caution humility for people to see something. Humility does not mean some parts of me are not paid for.
Come
Do
on.
not
Oh,
believe all the
wait,
knowledge that is
wait, wait,
acquired.
wait, wait, wait. Dial it, dial it back, dial it back. Say that for the people upstairs.
Just because I acquired this knowledge does not always mean it's not paid for. There are paid for
Mm.
parts of me that must exist because I have to make a living. However, don't twist that with humility. Humility does say, as still given to me, there are parts of me that I can give to people that I like to call fire starters. It is not for me to give you the whole fire, but it is for me to give you bits and pieces of what I've learned to start the fire in you, to ignite the purpose
Mm.
in you. And so when I acquire all of that knowledge and I sit with it and I meditate with it, then I divvy out certain parts of me that people need to know to ignite their purpose. And it's exciting because that aha moment they get when they're like, I didn't know I could do that. And I tell them, I didn't either until I sat in that room. That's why
Mm.
prosperity to me means a constant state of gratitude. I'm not supposed to, on the level of other people, be here. They should, but God said, no, I need you here because you're going to go a step further and give my people what they need to ignite their purpose. And that's the difference.
Oh, I love that. It's not too long ago, I gave a talk about rising above limits. And
Mhm.
in that talk, my discussion started with, in order to talk about the rise, I had to acknowledge the fall,
Yes.
right?
Oh,
Can't have
yes.
one without the other. But when that fall occurred,
Mhm,
something was activated
mhm,
inside of me. It was where I talked about having to create a sense of safety and security for myself. But the activation came when I realized that there will come a time when I had to help others create that same safety and
yes.
security. So
Yes.
that became the assignment, was to create an atmosphere where people felt safe or created their own safety and security.
Right.
So, one of the things that's come about from these prosperity conversations is to have a different perspective, because it's not always about the dollar and the balance in the bank account. But don't get me wrong now. I teach women to define and achieve their goal of financial freedom. In order to have financial freedom, you
Correct.
gotta have some finances to create
That's
that
correct.
freedom. Okay. Let's not get it confused.
That's correct.
But
Amen.
I love when we can talk about where our mindsets when it comes to other things that lead to prosperity. Because not too long ago, you joined me for a men's mental health panel, and men need to have strong mental health, as do women. Right. At one point, everything was hush hush, and especially in our community, we don't get therapy. What happens in
Right.
this house stays in this house. Oh no, we done bust the hinges off of that.
That's
For
right.
women, it
Right.
hadn't always been in the forefront for men. So it was a beautiful thing to have you gentlemen come and sit on that panel and talk about that. So
Right.
let me ask you this. It's been a thought of mine. I have some entrepreneurs in my circle that do it now. So and here you are living abroad. What was the shift? What was the mindset shift outside of the time zone and maybe some of the food? Those be the things. Wait a minute, he just going to sleep. I'm just getting up. I gotta switch.
That's right.
And
That's right.
now, food is an issue because, my stomach starts saying, we don't eat that. We don't eat that. How was it? What did you have to shift? What shifts have occurred in order for you to live abroad?
One thing is, I came from a background of a very small town. And so in that background of a very small town, whether you went to church, whether you went to leadership meetings, when you listen to these leaders, they always told you things like the world does this and the world does that, and this is the way the world was. So
Mm-hmm.
when I began to live abroad, the first thing I had to do was throw that out because I
Ah,
realized the world they spoke of was not the same world that I'm living in. So you cannot
right.
conform what you believe that your world is until what Italy was when I was there, when I was in Portugal, when I was in the UK, when I was in Kuwait. These people live a different lifestyle. So the first thing I had to do was understand culture, that America is not the end all be all. And so, because if I open myself up to their culture, I can communicate. I tell people, you cannot communicate if you do not understand the culture. You're locked
Mm.
in. And so when I began to understand the culture so I could communicate, that's when I learned to connect. So
Oh,
first it was the culture, then it was the communication, and then I could connect. Once you connected and locked in with people, the same doors we talked about begin to open in different languages. The same doors begin to open with different ideologies. Things I never knew that existed in these other countries not only existed, but they were overabundant to where people pushed me into the room. I didn't have to walk in. They were like, why are you not here yet? Can you come on? Can you get in here? I remember being downrange. And there were things that I was able to get done. No one else could get done in the same position previously before me because God had ordained for me to be there and speak to people in such a way that he helped me understand things I've never understood before. But he let me study, read, meditate, lock in so I could understand culture, so I could understand. I mean, it was just amazing to communicate so that when we connected, they're like, yeah, we'll do it for you. What you want us to do? And we're
oh,
building buildings,
wow.
we're building areas, we're connecting employees to different things, we're structuring things for future business. And for my entrepreneurship, it added a different value because now I help these same businesses in all these countries market themselves in a way they never thought they could because financially, some didn't have a lot. Financially, some had a lot, but they just couldn't press the peanut butter to the jelly. They needed something in between. And that in between was me being the knife to spread the peanut butter, to spread the jelly, to put the sandwich together. And when you eat it, it's good. And
Now you
that's
make,
what I represent.
now I'm finna go in the kitchen and make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But if you know what this reminds me of in in Sister Act 2, when they were
Mhm.
trying to get Whoopi Goldberg to sit in the chair, they were talking about some fusion.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Look,
Yes,
fusion.
ma'am. 100%.
Listen, and it's amazing, especially when you come across where people have been trying to do this. It's almost like the way I help my clients.
Right.
Nicole, I've tried this with this person, or I've tried that with this person, or I've tried this and I've tried that, and nothing has worked. Okay, let's try this. And
Mhm.
then when that light bulb goes off and those
Yes.
results start coming in differently,
Yes.
it's that you're giving them hope And it's
Yes.
when people still have hope, they can hold on to making steps forward. So I love that. I love that.
Amen. Blessings. Blessings.
So, Ernest, let me ask you, Usher's digital agency. Oh my gosh, listen. I was having a conversation not too long ago, and one of the ladies that was there was older, and she was like, she is afraid of AI. I said, why? The Jetsons told us long ago that these things.
Right, the Jetsons. I love it. I love
The
it.
Jetsons told us long ago these things. Listen, if they can believe in what the Simpsons say, I can believe the Jetsons because I've had
Agreed.
telehealth, doctor's appointments, right?
Agreed.
I've done quite a few things. What I'm not gonna do is that that driverless car. Now you ain't gonna never get me in that.
Yeah, we can draw a line with Tesla. I'll go with you on that. Draw the
We
line.
could try a lot of things, but somebody better be behind the wheel of the car.
I agree. I agree with that.
So
100%.
let me ask you, so how is your agency helping to serve entrepreneurs, especially in this world of AI?
This is my most exciting part of this whole thing. Now I'm about to get excited. So you limit me if I talk too much because I'm about to get excited. Like the pastor say, I'm about to get excited. I'm about to get excited. I feel my help coming. So here's what I'm able to do. So I locked in to Chat GPT for about 6 months, just locked in. And I began to learn the ins and outs of it until I became the instructor and master of it. I began to teach other people. I locked into Gemini. I locked into Perplexity. I locked into Notion. I locked into Canva AI. As I locked in, I realized that it wasn't a scary place and it's not replacing anything. What it does is elevates your ideologies of thinking, meaning that if I have a concept that I'm trying to attempt and I keep running into this brick wall, if I place a prompt, because I teach people how to prompt, I teach business how to prompt, I teach at my job people how to prompt, even with Copilot and Outlook. If I prompt the right thing, it's able to elevate my idea into different areas of focus that stretch further than what my imagination would stay with. And so, what it calls me to do is begin to read more and more into these rabbit holes of imagination that my mind would go because I prompted it to say, write an email describing A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. But within that email, I need the words to be this long to this long, this sentence structure, this tone, this idea. And I want this to go out to corporate at this time, at this place, at this function. However, I need to make sure my audience knows that there's some enthusiasm. When you start prompting it like that, it pulls back an idea to you. But then I realized, wait a minute. What if I took that and applied it to my business? What if
Mm.
I took that and applied it to marketing, to finances, to connections, to the things I already knew? What if I just start researching a little bit further? So AI excites me because whether I'm on my phone, I'll talk to AI. Whether I'm at my computer, I'll type to AI. Or with businesses, I teach them to utilize Chat GPT and make logos and marketing and how to integrate it into their website to make sure they get the SEO going to where people on Google can find them faster. It's so exciting because the anticipation and the cutting edge of knowledge is now at my fingertips. And so when that knowledge is at my fingertips, I want to go further so I can help someone else go further. See, it's not about me acquiring knowledge so I can sit up there and say I know it all. It's about me acquiring knowledge so I can help you go a little bit further, which is why my I'm Usher's digital agency, but I also have a part of me that's called the marketing magician. And the reason the marketing magician exists is because my job is to make sure your invisible business becomes visible.
Wait
That's
a
what I
minute.
do. So
Let me get
I
right.
get
Let me get
yeah,
it
yeah.
right there. Right there. That's the entry point, y'all. Did y'all see that? Did he take a bruh? Did he take a bruh? Did homeboy take a
I
bruh?
didn't.
But listen, I understand that because when automations came into on the scene, I was like, hands off. I, I don't want it. I don't want to know it. And but what I found is that it hindered me a lot in my business.
Yes.
By the time I started getting on, AI was the next thing. right? So I'm behind the eight ball with automation. So me and Uncle Jippy, aka
Mm-hmm.
Chat GPT, that's my
Uh-huh.
uncle. You know,
Yes, ma'am.
every niece need a good uncle, right? They're my uncle. And he I heard a marketing lady say she uses Chat GPT and Claude
Yes,
like a
Claude. Yes.
sparring partner. So
Yes.
it's not where people are. He doesn't think for me,
Mm-mm.
and since he's
Can't.
pulling from he's an updated electronic librarian.
That's it.
Because some of y'all out here ain't gonna remember this, we gonna tell you what it used to be before it was on the internet. You had to go into the library.
That's right. That's
You
right.
had to ask the librarian, where do I find such and such? And she might
Right.
either pull it out or she'll walk you to
The
the
next.
stats
That's right.
and help you find through the Dewey Decimal System where the book
That's right.
was.
That's
I know
right.
this going over some of y'all head. Y'all
It
can
is
look
over
up.
here. Not mine.
Look, ask Chat GPT to help you learn about Dewey Decimal System, okay? But that is really what
Right.
AI is. And
Right.
it's pulling all of that at such a speed that we can't match that.
Right.
However, I have been able to tell it, this is the thing that I want to say. Here's the audience. Clean it up and make it professional for me. Because
Right.
I wasn't professional at all. So
There you
it
go.
does a lot of things. It's done deep dives on my business.
Right.
Ernest, can I tell you that doing a deep dive on my business through AI has
Yes,
been
ma'am.
the most beneficial thing for me
Yes.
because
Yes.
2026 looks so different for
Yes.
my business. And
Yes.
so I love that. But I just told my community today that it's so many different things. You can learn how to create digital products.
That's
You
correct.
can use AI. I have my own teaching assistant who's coming. Her
There
name
you
is
go.
Nikki Nat. She is the Nikki Nat. Okay. She will be the TA answering
There you go.
questions for them.
Right.
So it's all sorts of things. So I'm going to share your website again so that people can go over there because I just signed up for your newsletter before we got started so I can
Okay.
get that information.
Right.
And the fear of the unknown
Mm-hmm.
is what will keep us held back. So, for all
Right.
you entrepreneurs, please hear us both when we say
Right.
you need to have some form of AI working
Right.
in your business, even
Yes.
if it's just for your own personal knowledge,
That's
if it's
correct.
for your clients, it's
That's
for
correct.
how can your business be better.
That's correct.
You have got to have it. So if you thought he was excited about AI, just know that I am too. But when you start looking at how AI, let me tell you what I used to tell my coach. I needed a clone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Mm-hmm.
scared because we almost there.
Yes, we are. It's happening. You will
We
be
are
cloned.
almost there. I
You
need
will
about
be.
7 of them.
It's
And
about
so
to
the
happen.
real me can stay home. So the
Yes, ma'am.
real me can stay home. So Ernest, let me ask you something. Somebody's listening, somebody's watching, they're
Mm-hmm.
business owner,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know what their next step is to either launch or scale their business. What would you say to them?
Well, it's a few things, but where I start when someone is saying, I want to launch, I want to scale, I like to slow it down a little bit and ask them, what is it that you're good at? And what you're good at, is there a market for it? Because I'm not a person that wants to take someone's money just to get them to launch out so I can get money and they fail. I need them to recognize that if there is a market for what they're wanting to market, we can build upon that step by step with the business aspect, the marketing aspect, the financial aspect. I can get into all that. But I need you to understand just because you're good at baking cookies does not mean there's a market for where you live for baking cookies because there could be 30 other cookie companies on your street and
That's
your
right.
market is already saturated. I don't want you doing that. Also, I don't want you doing something you don't like just because there's not a big market for it. You know you hate designing t-shirts, but nobody on your street sells t-shirts. Do not go into something that you don't like just to try to sell. It needs to match what you like versus there's a market for it in your area. That way, it's your passion, and your passion doesn't burn out. Your likes change, your wants change, your needs may change, but your
Mhm.
passion does not change. And so if somebody tells me I want to launch, I want to scale, all I need to make sure is that your market value that you want matches what the market wants. And if it does, all right, now let's have a further conversation. What's your startup cost? What's your capital? How much are you willing to invest? Okay, great. You tell me an amount. Now let's talk about what you need to invest in to be successful. Let's not throw all our money into marketing and not into our product. Let's not throw all our money into our product and not. So now we can start designing the layers, I like to say, of the cake, because a lot of people like to build from the birthday candle. I don't know if you ever built a cake from a birthday candle. Have you ever done that before?
You know what? You need to stop because I just told him how people, especially in our community, I'm having my house built from the ground up. Like everybody else gonna put the roof on first. What are you talking about? Everybody's house started from the ground up.
Right. Right. So you get what I'm saying. We need
Yes,
to make sure we layer this appropriately. So when we get to the candles, all we're doing is put the fire on top to show everybody we're ready. But we
that's right.
must start with the ingredients that create the cake, the layers that make the cake, the icing that makes the cake to get to the candles that burn on top to show the cake is ready. And
Ooh,
that's how I approach businesses. That's how I approach people. And that's how I approach structuring someone for success.
come on now. That need listen. Yeah, when I put out the call for prosperity conversations, okay, did not know who would answer. And over the past, it has barely been a month, and we've got over 30 recorded conversations. So your girl been busy in the background, but every conversation there's been alignment. And for me, that has been the most impactful thing for me, which makes my gratitude jar increase,
Yes. Yes.
because there have been people that we do the same thing,
Right.
we touch on the same topics, but they come from a different perspective, from love and loss and health challenges, all of the different things, but they all have a message of what prosperity means. And I absolutely have loved this journey. So, for those of you who may not know, we are also doing what's called the Prosperity Summit. Ernest has been inducted, willingly or unwillingly, it doesn't matter. He's coming along for the ride. So, if you feel that you have a story with a hint of prosperity that you want to share and get out to others, be sure you get that link, click on it, and come on over to the other side and be a beacon of light to someone else. Okay, so Ernest, I'm going to ask you one more question before we start wrapping this up.
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of projects do you have that are in the AI world to start helping your customers or even new people?
One is I've designed and I've been teaching quite a few marketing courses through AI. So there is one that I would just give you. It's called gamma.app/create. And what that does is it allows you to prompt through Chat GPT into Gamma, and it creates PowerPoint presentations, ebooks, or any of those things in less than 20 seconds. So what you
Oh,
do
oh,
is you,
oh,
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 I'm sorry.
oh, 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 stop. Gamma.
GAMMA.app/create. They give you a free version, which gives you about 600 credits. So that's about 3 presentations. But after that, it's just $20 a month. And what
That
that
right
allows
there.
you, that's the one. That's
That right
it.
there. Y'all
That
see
right
that?
there.
Go
That's
get
it.
it. Go
So
get
what that
it.
allows you to do is you can take a prompt and you can create an entire ebook or an entire PowerPoint presentation in seconds. It includes the illustration of pictures. It includes whether you want landscape or framed a certain way. It includes various colors of backgrounds. It includes how many pages and slides you want. It does all that for you. And so what I'm teaching people how to do is, instead of spending hours at work trying to make a PowerPoint presentation that looks like Flintstone. I'm teaching people how to create Jetson projects in less than 20 to 30 seconds through gamma.app/create. Because what I want people to do is not just look successful, but walk successfully. And if I can give you a tool that allows you to walk the very thing you want to be, then I will train and show. Also, I've been teaching marketing courses on crowdfunding because people have struggled with trying to raise money and capital for different projects. So I have some crowdfunding courses that I teach people how to use AI to create crowdfunding videos, ideas, where to go, even lock down in your community places that you can actually get loans and things like that utilizing AI. Lastly, I also teach people using AI how to get free certifications. So if you go to Chat GPT and say, I want an online free certification in project management, Chat GPT will pull up 16 different links that you can click on to different websites or different courses, college that you can take and get free certification on anything you want to be certified. A certificate prints at the end, whether it's free, $20 or $30, but it is a certified course that you can add to your resume, add to your website, and add to your life. So I teach people how to do things like that because there are free certifications, there's free money, and there's free things out there, but you must have a teacher. And that's what I've been doing.
Well,
So,
did y'all hear all of that? See, I did this. I'm finna go in the green room and get a lesson. I'm finna go in the green room and get a lesson. You know, you start talking crowdfunding, you talking right up my alley.
yes, ma'am. 100%. Yes, ma'am.
Listen, Ernest, that.
I just learned that the other day, so I know what that is. I just learned that. Just learned that.
Yeah, I've been knowing about 2 weeks. So.
I'll say this though too on your question. So behind me, I've been blessed behind me. There are multiple degrees behind me and things from my deployment here and here. But I will tell you one thing. Of all that God's allowed me to amass, of all the colleges and things that I've amassed, there is nothing like bringing all that together and tying it into AI because AI has allowed me to take what I've learned, put it together, develop something that will help you as soon as you press the button. It's just like being married. As soon as you say I do, the last name changes, the future starts. And that's what I teach people when I take all of this and put it into a course. As soon as they press that button, week one, their mind gets blown. I teach people in Liberia, in Kenya, in South Africa. I teach people in the States. I've got people in Hawaii. I've got people here in the UK. I've taught courses in Kuwait, all over the world, because AI has allowed me to put something together, not just quick, but effective that works. It is not just something that you put together just to say you've done something. We're
Right.
talking about effectiveness, and this is powerful. And I'm
Ooh,
excited.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, Ernest, thank you so much. Don't rush out because I got some notes I need a little dressing.
I got some
this,
time for you. I got a little time for you before I sleep. I
this
got some time for you.
look, this the benefit of being the host. You get the green room and you get the actual recording, y'all. I
Yes, ma'am.
absolutely love it. My guests have been coming through with much information, and so I'm going to share these websites with you guys one last time. Make sure you get that information. Go register. I registered myself to get the monthly newsletter, and I'll be I don't know if I'm gonna get any sleep tonight
You
because
won't. Not with this one.
yeah, I'm gonna
You
die
won't.
app/create. We about to do it because I got a PowerPoint presentation due next week. And then
See, look
listen,
at God.
I'm not even gonna complain about the fact that you said these PowerPoints be looking like the Flintstones. I don't know who showed you my work. I don't, I don't know who told you, but that was none of their business. And you shouldn't. How dare you use it again? Because when
Oh
I tell
gosh.
you them little thick people that be coming out like this,
No, we can't do that no more. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
So let me
No,
go
yeah.
over here and get myself together.
Yes,
But I
ma'am.
appreciate you being here, and I hope that you guys took plenty of notes. If not, be sure to catch the replay because I want you guys to get connected. I want you to stay fully engaged and take in all of these conversations because they will lead you somewhere. And so this has been another episode of Prosperity Conversations. I am your host, the Nicole Johnson. Our guest today was Ernest Usher of Usher's Digital Agency. All right. All right. Till next time. Bye bye.